Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my full NFL playoff bracket picks where I fill out and try and predict the full NFL 2022/2023 playoff bracket. And finding one of these brackets on the internet is very elusive. It's very rare. I searched it, I looked it up, I was finally able to find whatever this site is, and this actually lets me click on the team, and it auto puts the best seed in, and it does the seeding correct. So I'm just doing this for fun, and I'm going to fill out the entire bracket and pick my Super Bowl, pick and everything like that, just for fun here before the wild card games. So the first game we've got, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, the number one overall seed. They have the bye. It is the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills coming into this one, big favorites. Tua Tagovailoa, I believe if it's not confirmed yet, he's going to be out. He's out for the year. They're not going to play him with all the head injuries. So the Bills, 10.5-point favorites. I see them winning and covering very easily. They slot in with home field as the 2 seed there. And then you do have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Bengals. As long as Lamar Jackson plays in this game and is relatively healthy, there's a lot of speculation revolving that. I do like the Ravens to keep this game close. It's very hard in the NFL to beat a team back-to-back weeks, which is what Cincinnati would be doing. And I have noticed a few cracks in Cincinnati's offense in terms of Joe Burrow's efficiency throwing the ball. Not many yards per attempt, but I will take Cincinnati at home in a lower scoring Sunday night cold game there. And I like maybe a 20-17 type final. Baltimore, I've got so much respect for their defense. They're getting J.K. Dobbins back. That should be a close game. And that sets up Buffalo versus Cincinnati. And kind of a weird situation. There was something to do with maybe a coin flip deciding home field in this game. Obviously, we know the Week 17 game between these two teams ended up getting canceled in the first quarter, but I don't think this is at a neutral site. I believe it would be in Buffalo, which would be a huge advantage for them. And then the final AFC wildcard game, the Chargers traveling to Jacksonville. The Chargers coming into this game, 1.5-point favorites. The general consensus, according to many experts, is, and I do agree, I think the Chargers win this game. And I really think Justin Herbert has a coming out party in terms of having some significant playoff success this postseason. But I do expect this to be a little bit lower scoring. If you look at the game last week in terms of Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, for as good as he's been in the second half of the season, really kind of struggled against that Tennessee defense, and they had to scoop and score to win that game, only scoring 20 points total and just 13 on offense. So I think the Chargers go into Jacksonville and get a close, lower scoring win, 22-17. That sets up all those matchups. We'll look at that in a second. Next, we have Seattle and San Francisco. So, San Francisco coming into this game, 10-point favorites against Geno Smith and a Seattle team that, lucked their way into the playoffs a little bit, getting the Lions to beat the Packers. I will take San Francisco. They've just got an amazing roster. I feel like we've been waiting for this Brock Purdy magic carpet ride to come to an end. The last pick in the entire NFL as a rookie, 5-0. It's crazy, but he's just so level-headed. He's such a good game manager. Being a game manager on a team like this is a legitimate asset, especially if you're a rookie. Just managing the game, not turning the ball over, converting third downs. You've got McCaffrey, you've got Deebo Samuel, you've got Kittle. Brandon Ayuk as well, Nick Bosa on defense. They have a loaded roster overall, and I think they have no problems with a Seattle team that very easily could have missed the playoffs if Green Bay would have won. I will take them to win that NFC West battle and advance on as the 2 seed to the second round. Next, we have the Giants and the Vikings. So a lot of people picking the Giants to win this game as 3-point underdogs because of the situation surrounding the Vikings. They're the perfect team to get upset. They win a bunch of close games. They come back. You would think they possibly could get upset here. But guys, I am going to roll with Minnesota to actually win this game because I just think they have more talent. They're at home. I think they've got one more walk-off kick in them, and they win this game 30-27. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Cousins isn't terrible. I realize Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and that Giants team always play close games, and this will be a close game. I like the over, but I will take the Vikings to win 30-27. And then the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. So this is the other upset everyone's talking about. A lot of people picking the Buccaneers to win this game. I think people have a blind spot. Guys, the Buccaneers were not that good this year. Tom Brady overall, really one-dimensional. They're just a passing team. I like Dallas. I think Dallas, people overreacting a little bit to their loss, with the loss to the Commanders. That was a game that was really in flux. It was a situation where they needed two teams who were both 14-point favorites to lose to have a chance to move up. So while Dak Prescott was horrible in that game, and I agree he was bad against the Commanders, it was really a meaningless game. The Cowboys have more talent. They've got way better analytical numbers than the Bucs. I will take the Cowboys to win that game, hold serve as 3-point road favorites, and advance to the divisional round. Now the divisional matchups, we've got the Chargers going into Arrowhead. It'll be interesting how cold this game temperature will be against the 1-seeded Kansas City Chiefs, getting that bye. Maybe a little aided from the game that got canceled between the Bengals and the Bills, but they do get the bye. And guys, I don't, it feels right to be Justin Herbert's big game, to make himself known to the NFL. Kind of like Joe Burrow last year, I think Justin Herbert gets a major upset over Patrick Mahomes. Certainly, I respect the Chiefs. Absolutely, they could win this game. But I'm just feeling an upset because I'm looking at that Chiefs team and I'm seeing people kind of have a blind spot. That Chiefs team is really one-dimensional. They cannot run the ball at all, and they don't have a superstar deep threat like Tyreek Hill. So I think the Chargers go in there and gut out a crazy win, a crazy upset in Arrowhead. Justin Herbert throws for a ton of yards. He's got weapons. We'll have to see what happens with Mike Williams if he's back for that game. But I do like the Chargers kind of to have a Cincinnati-type run and win that game over the Chiefs. Next, we have the Bengals and the Bills. I'm taking the Bills. It just feels like the Bills' year this year. Cincinnati, they've been really impressive on what they've been able to do in terms of backing up their great year last year with another really good season. That's very hard to do, although the AFC North, with the Deshaun Watson suspension, with the Lamar injury, it's been a little bit easier than expected. Still, winning 12 games is impressive. But guys, the Bills, Josh Allen, it feels like it's their year. It just feels like it. I'm going with the Bills. They have, right now, it's them and the Chiefs, 1A, 1B in terms of the NFL analytical rankings. Those are the two best teams, offense plus defense by far, are the Bills and the Chiefs. Next, we have a divisional matchup here, NFC East, the Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. And guys, I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys to win this game on the road. The Eagles feel like a one-and-done to me because of the way they entered the playoffs. They entered the playoffs with Jalen Hurts coming off an injury. He plays okay against the Giants, but still a little bit rusty. Then they get another bye. So really, Jalen Hurts has not had very much game action in the past month. They could come out slow in this game. They're going to be facing a Dallas team that's pumped up after beating Tampa Bay. I think early in this game, it sets up very favorably for Dallas to really break through and make the NFC Championship and get a crazy win over a division rival. It just feels like with the Jalen Hurts situation, with Philadelphia kind of struggling down the stretch, feels like it's ripe for an upset. Of course, the Eagles are a really good team. They're the 1 seed for a reason. They could certainly win that game, but I am picking an upset there. And then I am picking San Francisco over Minnesota in what I think is going to be a really boring game in general. These two teams faced like 2 or 3 years ago in San Francisco, and the 49ers won. And I think they win this game like 27-17 or something like that. They're at home. I just don't see. I see Minnesota beating the Giants, but after that, they just don't have the roster talent to match up with San Francisco. Even though, I mean, Kirk Cousins is probably better than Brock Purdy, but it's not by such a significant margin to where, the Vikings can win that game on the road, in my opinion. Next, we have the AFC Championship game in Buffalo. It is the Chargers traveling to Buffalo. Guys, I am taking the Bills. I took them before the season to make the Super Bowl. I am sticking with it. They are the 2 seed. Josh Allen, one too many interceptions in terms of winning the MVP. Just threw, a little too many turnovers, but he still had an amazing year. He's probably going to finish top 3 in the MVP. The Bills team is just so well put together. The one thing you can say, maybe a weakness in terms of the running game, but Josh Allen more than makes up for it. Also, they don't have, maybe not having a superstar pass rusher. That would be the other thing with the Bills. We saw last year, that was a major problem when they couldn't get a stop against Kansas City, but I do think they break through. This is the year the Bills break through and make the Super Bowl. I have them beating the Chargers and getting there. And then the NFC Championship game, this will be in San Francisco, the Cowboys and the 49ers. And I am going to pick the Dallas Cowboys to upset the 49ers. Brock Purdy versus Dak. I could see Dallas winning this game, even though I've got so much respect for San Francisco's overall roster. And guys, just like, I am not a Cowboys fan. I'm not a Bills fan. I actually am mainly just a Browns fan. So really, my team's not even in it. I'm just having fun making these predictions on what I think could happen with a few upsets. And, it's funny when you make these predictions, you want to pick some upsets, but you don't want to pick too many upsets. But the thing is, I do have both 1 seeds losing. That would be crazy if that happened. It probably won't, but it's just fun to do it. And then you've got the Super Bowl game. It is the Cowboys versus the Bills. And I do have the Buffalo Bills winning this game. I do think it would be a fun, higher scoring game. So I'm going to put the total Super Bowl over under, or how many points scored in the Super Bowl. I'm going to say 57. That is the number I'm going to put. I'm going to say 57 total points in the Super Bowl, which would be like a 30-27 type final. Really fun game. Josh Allen versus Dak Prescott. I think that'd be a great Super Bowl matchup. Dallas versus Buffalo. But of course, Dallas does have to play better. They had a really bad week last week. There's a lot of people that think Dallas might lose this week, and they might. But this is just my fun Super Bowl picks, just based off of what I think could happen when it comes to this year, the Dallas Cowboys versus Buffalo, the NFC Championship, San Francisco versus Dallas, the AFC Championship, the Chargers versus the Bills. But either way, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.